It's Sunday, 4th October 2020. This is the True Morning News. Good morning from the King Studio and headquarters here in Sabah. Good to be with you. I'm Yien Hua. In this 2020, the word coronavirus is not a strange word for public and it is a nightmare for everyone now. The sudden outbreak of coronavirus in Sabah has put Sabahan in panic. People facing unprecedented new challenges from this infectious disease. Medical staff sacrifice their sleep, family time as well as the daily obstacle to the provisions of safe and quality care for the sake of the country. Malaysians also answers the call of country to stay at home, wash their hands frequently, and wearing masks. But the virus outbreak in some states still out of control. There were 293 new COVID-19 cases recorded in the past 24 hours, with Sabah and Kedah being the two worst hit states. Health Ministry says Sabah saw 126 new cases, whereas Kedah have 113. These two states have recorded the highest number of cases out of the other states for the past few days. People are now under terrified and panic situations. Many of them have started to stock out on essentials such as rice, cooking oil, and soap. Kinabalu Malaysian politician Chang Fuk Hin expects the number of cases to hike given the circumstance of the case and the way the virus is spreading worldwide. He urged the public to keep calm, no panic, and instead focus on maintaining a high hygiene level and wash their hands more frequently. As Malaysia is expected to enter the third wave of COVID-19, in line with increasing number of cases recorded worldwide recently, Malaysians should take respective actions, follow the Standard Operations Order (SOPX), be disciplined in taking preventive measures, and keep about 6 feet of distance between yourself and others. Why is COVID-19 so dangerous? Let's have a look at the video to see how deadly is COVID-19.
I am Professor Lam from University Kent. As the contagiousness of the coronavirus rise in Malaysia, I am urging the public to follow standard operating procedure SOP aimed at preventing the spread of COVID-19. As the novel coronavirus continues to spread throughout the world, keeping people and business in Malaysia shuttered. The virus is clearly something to be feared. But of the many viruses known to infect humans, what made this one, which has caused the worst pandemic in a century, so dangerous? Coronavirus is a virus that has never been seen in humans and no one is immune to it. That added to the fact that it spreads as easily from person to person as influenza and infects the upper respiratory system is what makes it so dangerous. Plus, there is no vaccine for now. Because the COVID-19 virus is found in the upper airway, the infection can be spread through coughs, sneezes, coughing, and coughing, and likely even loud talking. Humans not only get severe damage to the lungs, it can also contribute to kidney damage and heart damage. This is what is causing some people to become severely ill or die. Thus, advice that has been dispensed should be taken seriously. I need to emphasize again it is crucial for Malaysians to take preventive measures such as wearing a face mask and practicing social distance seriously as a spike in case could exhaust our hospital capacity. Thank you for your time.
All Malaysians have to play their role have the duty and responsibility to fight against the coronavirus. Next, let's listen some opinions and views from the public.
I think the coronavirus is very dangerous as it takes someone's life. I usually get all the latest news and also information from the social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, WeChat, and also TV news. I really appreciate the frontliners as they are now sacrificing themselves to fight for us. As far as I know, many of them are working overtime, risking their life, and some even lost their own life while saving others. They all are the heroes of our country. As a Malaysian, I think what we can do is just stay at home, keep our distance with others, and try not to make trouble for them. I believe if we work together, we can fight against this coronavirus.
As we all know, the new coronavirus is transmittable. The outbreak could happen within a very short time. It can be transmitted within 15 seconds through our saliva, handshake to infect a person. So, people get infected easily. This is scary, and making public panic. The best way to cope with this is just stay at home and try not to go out if nothing urgent. We can try to protect ourselves with face masks and hand sanitizer. But masks are now so hard to find. So I hope that the Malaysia government will fix the price for the face mask so that everyone can afford to buy. You know that poor families cannot afford to have the face mask if it is so expensive. They will just dying in the hopeless fight if no one take care of them. If this happens, another wave of coronavirus could start in any time.
As coronavirus surged in March, many schools and universities have been shut down to stem the coronavirus outbreak. Due to the new surge of coronavirus now, Putrajaya has closed some schools in COVID-19 red zones to fight against the coronavirus outbreak. The closure of school does not mean that there is a glamour of neglect in schoolwork. To keep students on tracking with distance learning, Malaysia's government has adopted a few online teaching models such as Google Classroom, Google Meet, Educational TV program at OKRTN, and Azure Tutor. Online teaching is a new experience for every student, as well as the new challenges for teachers to conduct the teaching and learning process. It is important to consider both pros and cons of online learning to ensure all the learners are better prepared to face the challenge and to embrace the new opportunities that it has to be offered. Strength awarenesses. Let's listen to some interview between students and teachers on the online learning.
The COVID-19 pandemic has pushed schools online to ensure that effective learning continues. As a private school teacher, I am grateful and blessed to have a job. I never thought of losing my job, but I do feel for others, especially my relatives and friends who have lost their job due to this MCO. Like many other teachers, I have to adapt to the current circumstance and has been conducting online classes for my students. I am unprepared at first, but have to force myself to learn fast. Thank God, it did not take me too long to get things done. Most of my lessons have been conducted via Google Classroom. I also explored a few websites that provide worksheets and videos online. In the beginning, I needed 3 to 4 hours to prepare a lesson, but after I had the hang of it, I only spent around an hour. I can 100% sure that students are attentive, but I think most of the students are attending classes on time and doing their work. However, I realized that after a while, some of them are not very excited about the online classes.
As a teacher, I am always supportive of using technology to learn because there is no end to it. But during this MCO period, I have learned more ways to conduct my lesson online and am able to see that learning is still wonderful despite it being virtual. I also think that learning, grading, and marking has become more efficient too because we store and keep the data in Google Drive. Moving forward, I feel that teachers will definitely be more equipped technology wise as they continue to carry out their lesson online. The issue here is being able to guide the student to learn on an e-platform is like starting them back to the kindergarten all over again. This is because students have no prior experience with this distance learning. I have to worry about whether the students get it, if they understand it, if they submit it on time, all this without any prior experience of doing this. All this is too new for them. So to make sure that learning is no disrupt, I need to keep in touch with my students through phone, video calls, and social media.
I get excited when we have Zoom classes. I get to talk to my friends instead of listening to my teachers talking. But we are not too hard to control. Basically, we all are doing pretty well with this online learning. My teachers used to schedule Zoom sessions with us to clarify doubts. We did our online homework modules on school holidays and weekends. We also follow the lessons on TV that introduced by our Ministry of Education.
Um, for me, because I do not have steady internet connection at home, so I need to use my own mobile data to online learning. It is extremely frustrating. And this is also a burden for my family as they need to pay more for my phone bill. And I found that some of my classmates they just mute the audio and teacher they play games to each other. I think this online learning is a challenging for us as a student and our teachers are also struggling. I do feel abandoned with this distance learning. I really hope that we will be allowed to return to school as soon as possible.
Several locations around Kota Kinabalu and Tuaran has been hit by flash flood following heavy rain since last night. The flash flood led to some vehicles getting submerged in water, whilst the ground units of some showlocks were also flooded. Rain is still pouring and shows no sign of stopping. The Sabah Fire and Rescue Department said that the traffic was at a standstill at many locations in Kota Kinabalu. Minor landslides along Tambaruling Ranau Road were also reported. Meteorology expects the bad weather conditions to persist in West Coast and interior Sabah for the next 48 hours. Floods hit low-lying areas of the city here and other districts following heavy overnight showers. Victims have been placed at 10 temporary evacuation centers in some of the affected districts in the state. Flood victims seeking shelter at relief centers have doubled overnight in Sabah. The number of evacuees is expected to increase in some districts as the evacuations and registrations of the flood victims is still ongoing. As we know, flooding has many impacts. It will damage property and endangers the lives of humans and other species. Rapid water runoff causes soil erosions and concomitant sediment depositions elsewhere. The spawning grounds for fish and other wildlife habitats can become polluted or completely destroyed. The flood also can delay traffic in areas which lack elevated roadways. Floods can interfere with drainage and economic use of lands. Structural damage can occur in bridge abutments, bank lines, sewer lines, and other structures within floodways. Therefore, we need to take preventions to control of flood. Here are the methods of flood control. These methods include planting vegetations to retain extra water, terracing hillsides to slow the flow downhill, and the constructions of floodways. Other techniques include the constructions of levees, dikes, and retention ponds to hold extra water during flooding. That is the true morning news for this Monday. Thanks for watching. I'm Yien Hua. Have a great day.